Welcome back, guys, to another Clash Royale video. And today we're going to be taking a look at this PEKKA balloon deck that I've created. So let's go ahead and take a look at some replays here. So here we are, guys, with the first replay. We're actually facing a mortar user here, but he had a very interesting deck. He has the 3 musketeers in there as well, which is something that I've never actually seen before. But here we go. In our starting hand, we do have the electric pump, so I'm going to go ahead and place that down. Now, with this deck, guys, part of the strategy is trying to get multiple elixir pumps down so that later on in the battle, you have enough elixir to fuel your higher elixir cards like the PEKKA and the balloon. So try and get multiple pumps down if you can. But he drops the bomb tower here. I'm going to go ahead and use the PEKKA way in the back because the PEKKA is fairly slow moving, so by the time he crosses the bridge, that bomb tower should lose a decent amount of health. Now right here, he's got some barbarians marching up on the left-hand side. I am going to use the Valkyrie to take care of that. Now watch this, guys. He drops down the 3 musketeers, but fortunately, the PEKKA has a decent amount of health, so he'll be able to tank that, allowing the goblins and the baby draken to take it out. So overall, pretty even defense right there. That baby draken will get a couple hits up on that tower. We did win the elixir trade though. As you'll see, we're about 3 elixir higher than our opponent, and we do have an elixir pump down. So right here, I'm going to go ahead and place down a second elixir pump way in the back there. Now here he goes with the mortar for the first time with this deck, so I was kind of surprised to see it. I used the zap spell to stun those minions, allowing my balloon to go in there and take care of that mortar. Now the balloon for the mortar trade is a 1 elixir lost. So not the greatest defense against the mortar, but I was kind of hoping that the balloon would go on to damage the tower, but unfortunately it did not. Now right here, he dropped the bomb tower for some reason, which is a pretty bad move on his part, because by the time I make my next play, that bomb tower will be pretty much dead. So right here, we're going to go ahead with the Valkyrie way in the back. Now using the Valkyrie right there, guys, was kind of a mistake, because I know he has the 3 musketeers, so I should be saving my free spell and my Valkyrie to take care of that, because right here, he drops the 3 musketeers. Those musketeers will pretty much kill that Valkyrie, so that was 4 elixir wasted on that Valkyrie. So right here, I'm going to try and do a counter push on the left-hand side with my balloon, just to put some pressure on him, because I know that I do have the free spell, and I can freeze those musketeers. Now watch this, guys. Because I did use that balloon on the left-hand side, he tried to use the mortar to pull it back to the bridge, which is overall pretty good for me because I don't want that mortar attacking my elixir pump or attacking my towers. So we have 30 seconds left in this battle here, guys. His tower is all the way down to 1500 health. Things are looking pretty good for me. Here I go once again with the PEKKA way in the back there. He's going to slowly make his way up to the bridge. Now right here, he's got some barbarians and a 3 musketeer pack marching over the bridge here. I'm going to wait a second, drop the free spell, and then use my Valkyrie right in the middle of them. So overall, pretty good defense against the 3 musketeers. Take him out. The Valkyrie is still alive here. So now I'm going to start setting up a pretty strong counter push. I use the balloon on the left-hand side to try and do a split push and make him decide which lane he wants to use his elixir defending. So there you go, the balloon died. The minion horde won't really do any damage to my tower because I did use the zap spell. Now right here I drop a second PEKKA down. He does have the barbarians distracting my PEKKA, and unfortunately because my PEKKA is only a level 3, he does take 2 hits to kill those barbarians. But right here, take a look at his deck, guys. He has nothing left to defend this push here. He drops the 3 musketeers, but of course I do have the free spell back in my hand again. So that will give us the 1 crown victory, guys. Let's go ahead to the next replay here. So here we are, guys, with the next replay. We're actually facing a level 9 here in Legendary Arena, and he was actually using the Jason deck, I believe. But in our starting hand here, we don't have the Elixir Pump, unfortunately. He's going to go ahead and use the Spear Goblins to start, and I'm going to counter with the Valkyrie, guys, which might not have been the best decision, because you want to try and spend less Elixir than your opponent has defending, because that's how you build up an Elixir advantage. Now, the one downside to this deck, guys, is it only has 1 cheap distraction troop, and that is the goblins. So if you're facing somebody that has a PEKKA or a prince or something like that, you only have that 1 troop to use to distract, unless you want to use the PEKKA of your own to distract. But the PEKKA is a fairly high elixir cost card for distraction. So here he goes. He's going to try and go in with the giant as well as some archers. I'm going to use the free spell here, guys, in just a moment, and that's going to allow my goblins to take out that hog rider. Now the defensive freeze, guys, is pretty important with this strategy. You have to choose when to use it offensively and when to use it defensively. It's a great card on defense because it can stop an entire push. So right there, PEKKA is going to go in there and get 1 hit off on that tower thanks to the zap spell stunning those minions. So overall, I do have a little bit of an elixir lead. Now I do have the elixir pump finally in my hand here, so I'm going to go ahead and place it down right in the middle there and start getting some elixir flowing for later on in the battle. Now, like I said before, guys, This strategy does kind of rely on having multiple pumps out to fuel the high elixir cost cards. But here we go, we're going to wait for him to make the next move. Hopefully he makes one soon. At this point, guys, I was sitting full on elixir, so I didn't want to waste any elixir there. So I went ahead and used the P.E.K.K.A way in the back there. He's going to start setting up a counter push on the left-hand side with those archers and that giant there. So watch this, guys. P.E.K.K.A is making his way up to the bridge there. Hog Rider jumps over there. We're going to use the goblins to take out that Hog Rider pretty quickly. Now, fortunately for me, the Hog Rider actually pulled over the P.E.K.K.A to the left-hand side, and that P.E.K.K.A will be able to help defend against that giant. So, you know, in my opinion, that Hog Rider actually helped me out. So here he goes. He drops down some barbarians, level 10 barbarians, which unfortunately will take multiple hits by my P.E.K.K.A. But that's why I threw in the baby dragon as well, guys, because the baby dragon with one hit will weaken all those barbarians, allowing my P.E.K.K.A to one-shot them. And right here, guys, the balloon was actually able to sneak in there with the help of the freeze spell and do a pretty significant amount of damage to that tower there. And watch this, guys. The Valkyrie is still alive, and the baby dragon is actually targeting that tower, bringing it all the way down to 22 health. So at this point in the battle, guys, I only need one more zap on that tower to take it out. But we aren't in overtime yet, so I have to play defensively. He's got some barbarians marching up here. I'm going to use that freeze ball there with that Valkyrie to take care of all those troops here. Now watch this, guys. The baby dragon is distracted by that giant. So even though I use the zap spell on those minion horde, the minions will be able to take it out. So at this point in the battle, guys, it's actually pretty close. My tower is all the way down to 300 health. His Hog Rider is coming in here. One hit from that Hog Rider will take out my tower. So I'm going to use the free spell. He uses the arrows. And watch this, guys. I use my Valkyrie to take out that Hog Rider and then finish it off with a zap spell, taking out his tower, giving us the 1 crown victory. Let's go ahead to one final replay here. So here we go, guys. With the final replay, we're actually facing another level 8 here inside the legendary arena. And we do have the Elixir Pump in our starting hand, so that will be my first move. I place it down right in the middle there, start getting some Elixir flowing for later on in the battle. But watch what he does in this opening, guys. He's going to start out super aggressively. He's going to drop down some Barbarians on the left-hand side, as well as a Minion Horde on the right. But we do have the perfect counter for this push, guys. We use the Zap spell to counter that Minion Horde, and then we use the Baby Dragon to counter those Barbarians. So overall, pretty good job defending there. Those Spear Goblins will get a couple hits off here. But we do have an elixir advantage at this point. We're up 1 elixir and we have an elixir pump down, guys. So he is using the double print strategy, but this deck, guys, is actually a pretty decent counter to the double print strategy. So here we go. I drop down the Valkyrie way in the back there. He drops down a Dark Prince in the back of his base, which is an interesting move because the Valkyrie is a pretty good counter to the Dark Prince. Now watch this, guys. He's got a Prince coming on the right-hand side. I'm going to use the Zap spell there to take out those Goblins, and then use Goblins of my own to distract that Prince. Now, I could have used those Goblins in the middle of my base to pull that Prince away from my tower, guys. But here's the thing. If you're not sure if that Prince is going to survive the Goblins, sometimes it's better to place your Goblins closer to your base, because that way after your Goblins die, the Prince won't get a charge attack off on your tower. So here we go, guys. Once again, I'm going to use the Valkyrie way in the back of my base, and then set up a second electric pump right in the middle there, guys. Now watch this. He's going to try and be super aggressive because he just saw me use an electric pump as well as a Valkyrie, so he thinks I'm pretty low on elixir. But I do have the perfect counter once again. I dropped down the Baby Dragon and then the Zap spell. So that was, I think, 6 elixir defending a 10 elixir push, guys. So a 3 elixir win for myself. So pretty good. Now watch this. Dark Prince is coming in once again. I'm going to use the P.E.K.K.A this time to distract the Dark Prince. And now he's got pretty much no elixir. I've got 2 pumps down, a P.E.K.K.A, and 10 elixir. So I have a huge elixir lead, guys. So here we go. I'm going to use the freeze spell to freeze that Tesla as well as those skeletons and that tower. But unfortunately, my Baby Dragon just isn't up in time to take out that Minion Horde. So my balloon will only get like 1 or 2 hits up on that tower. But overall pretty good, bringing it all the way down to 665 health. Now, I kind of made a mistake here. I was trying to keep the pressure on and play super aggressively. I sent in another balloon and then used a free spell, but that was kind of a waste because he had the Tesla up once again, which distracted my balloon. So overall, we didn't get too much damage done to his tower with that push. Now watch this, guys. Dark Prince is coming in. He's going to try and do one more double Prince push. But here's the thing. The Dark Prince doesn't do too much single target damage. So I'm going to use the tower to soak it up, and then I'm going to use the Valkyrie as well as the Goblins on the right-hand side to distract that Prince. And then meanwhile, he wasted his Minion Horde on my Baby Dragon, guys. So once I saw that, I knew that he had nothing left in his deck to counter my balloon, because he does have the Tesla down right in the middle. And the thing with the Tesla, guys, is you can actually freeze it while it's underground, and it will come up. So watch this, guys. Balloon's making his way up front there. I used the freeze spell to freeze that Tesla, and he has nothing left in his deck to counter my balloon. So we will take out that tower for a 1-crown victory. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next video.